Hello and welcome back to another Geared Up Garage video. My name is Jay and in today's video, we're going old school. Let's do this. This here is my Mark II Audi TT, and a lot of you guys are going to be sitting there going, Jay, why are we looking at your car? Why are we not doing lorry stuff? And that's because we've got things to do on the Audi. And Geared Up Garage isn't just about lorries. As much as I love lorries, it was actually started for one project in particular. That was this car. So this is my 2-litre Audi TT TFSI. I've had this car since I was about 17, 18 years old. I absolutely love this car, but unfortunately you'll see something goes really, really wrong. It is probably going to be one of the most eventful videos we've ever done on the channel. Now, my Audi really is far from perfect. We've got odd headlights, we've got a service that needs doing, we've got an interior that's kind of mixed matched, and on top of that, the whole car needs a complete respray or a vinyl wrap. This car has been an absolute project over the last few years. We have completely rebuilt the engine from this car, from every nut and bolt, everything out, all the way back running to what it is now. So in today's video, we're going to be addressing a lot of the problems with this TT. Other thing that really lets this car down is the fact we have got a completely damaged rear light. I may or may not have accidentally backed into a wall. Didn't see it there, it was dark at the time. So, first thing is first, let's get this car jacked up in the air so we can get underneath it to have a look and drain the oil. We've got the oil filter to do, the oil, the fuel filter, and this thing's going in for its MOT on Wednesday. So really, I need to make sure that everything is fine with the car and we're not going to get an MOT fail because it's never had one in its history and I don't want to start now. Okay, now the car is in the air. Let's get underneath and just have a look because I haven't had a look underneath this car in quite some time. Okay, so the keen-eyed viewers will see that we've got a Maxton design front splitter on and here is underneath the Audi TT. So, from what I can see, it doesn't look too sad actually. Obviously, me and Baker rebuilt this car with the help of Darren. Thank you, Darren. Well, Darren did most of the work, I'll be honest, and me and Baker just finished it off. It's nice to see that everything we've put back together still works. If I only knew what was coming. So, we've got nothing sort of immediately catching my attention. Everything looks okay. Ah, yeah, here we go. This is a pipe that may need some attention. We've got a little bit of leaking, but apparently that's just a little bit of oil that's coming from the turbo, which obviously I know oil shouldn't come from the turbo, but I don't think this is anything majorly to worry about. It's not properly leaking, is it? So it's only a little bit of weeping. So I'll probably just clean that up before that goes for MOT and that'll be all right. Other than that, the block looks pretty good. It's a little bit rusty there, but it's to be expected. It's quite an old car. New under here, really. I mean, it's a little bit crusty and it's a little bit rusty in places, but nowhere, do you know what I mean? Nowhere near that bad. For a 14-year-old car, there's a lot worse out there, I think. It's Baker. He's come to supervise. Wow. Okie dokie. So, we've got brand new lights to replace the old ones. That we're going to swap over. We've got the fuel and the oil filters and the oil. And Baker is round here grabbing some tools. I have this singular oil pan. So this is going to be enough. And we're not going to spill any oil on the workshop floor. None. I'm confident of this. Because then I'll get dry.
You cracked it loose yet?
I'm doing it. Well, that was very loose.
What?
That was very loose.
Was it?
Yeah, that was like minimal effort.
Well, good. Well done, sir. You still spilled it.
A tiny, tiny bit. Other than that, that was pretty successful.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Woo! Have we got any metal on the sump bung? No, we don't. That is clean as a whistle. Turn it. That's it. Watch it. It's all going to come out, and you haven't got a thing under there, by the way.
I know.
Very nearly. I just saved your life.
No, you didn't.
Bung. Back in. So, smell that. And tell me what you think.
Yeah, that's fuel.
That's petrol, isn't it?
Straight up petrol.
We've got petrol in the oil filter. Okay, so we've had a little look and a little think, and some of the reasons I can think of that we might have we might have petrol in our oil filter housing is that we've either got bad piston rings, which is very unlikely because we've just changed them all when we rebuilt the engine. Frequent short distance driving is another thing that could cause that to happen, and I don't drive this car as much as I should, and I do only run it for really short distances. So that basically causes unevaporated fuel basically to get into the oil, and when you drive the car for a longer period of time, it gets hot and evaporates the fuel out basically. But where I don't, and this thing sits for quite a while, I'll do 3-4 miles in it, park it up, 3-4 miles in it, park it up. It's probably just, that's what's happened. Okay, oil dropped out. Bakes is gonna fill it up. Let's get that nice stream going. A golden stream. Wow! And there we go. The fuel filter is in. Now it is time to replace these horrible old battered lights with our nice new fresh ones. I've got money. It's just one little bolt there and the whole thing comes out. Bakes, what are you saying?
No.
Oh. There you go. She'll come. She comes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there you go.
Fair
Told
play.
you. One bolt. Well done, Audi. Should that be like that? I don't think Audi make them like that.
What, the electrical tape special?
Yeah, that's because the rear lights go, so people splice into it and then do it. It's a common thing on these.
Like
And by people, I mean me. So you're probably sitting there thinking, but Jay, how are you going to get that from there in on there? Well, the idea is we're just going to take this cluster out the back, change the back cluster over, and then just plug that back in there, and then hopefully that'll do the job. I know it's not OEM, but other than that, we're going to have to spend a lot more time messing about with it, and it's just easier to do it this way. And no one's going to have this car after me anyway, so I know it's there, and that's the end of it. There we have it. So we've changed the old cluster over to the new one. That'll slide in there nicely, and then that will marry up to that. This is the old door card. Now, the difference between them being this is a flat lever, and this is the standard Audi padding. It's very... well, it's standard, isn't it, Bakes? It's pretty standard. This is the upgraded one, which is the nice Alcantara side wall there, and that, look how much sponge is in that compared to in that. There is so much more sponge in that. It's such a much nicer door card for this car. So that can go on now. And there we go. Alcantara door cards. I'll give it a quick clean off, because it does need it. The whole inside needs cleaning, and the outside, to be honest, it's a mess. But it looks so much better in here. It feels so much better. It feels way more premium, and I just really like that.
Yep.
Audi TT is ready for a wash. The work has been done to it. Next time we see this car will be when it goes for its vinyl wrap, and when we put a big old wing and diffuser on it, and then it hopefully will be pretty much there. Thank you everyone for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, you like, and you leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. So after we shot that scene, me and Baker packed up, and I left the car running for about an hour, half an hour while we were packing up and messing about. There were no signs or indication that the car was anything wrong. It was completely fine. I then jumped in it the next day to take my granddad to church, and, well, this happened. Well, it happened. We knew this was gonna happen at some point. The Audi died, side of the road, EPC fault, ESP fault, no power, no fuel. I think it's a throttle problem, but yeah, she decided to let go on the side of the A12 here. So I'd already finished this one, but it looks like our saga continues with this car. Audi very bad. Audi very bad. Situation update. Oh, Bill, inbound, closing the entirety of lane 1. I do apologise, Ipswich commuters. Yeah, we're going to close this and then we're going to push it the old-fashioned way, where that AA van is, literally just there. It's not far at all. So yeah, this is going to be so much fun. Are you ready for this? Audi bad. Audi very bad. She's just done the timing chain. Or timing belt. So this engine is, what? Less than a year since its rebuild. We changed the belt, we changed all the internals. Everything's done. I paid £2,000 for this car. I spent 8 on it. So I'm well and truly in the hole. And we have no idea the damage of the engine on this car. It could be that we've bent some valves and the actual pistons and the rings and everything else themselves are fine. And we changed the head and she's back working fine. It could be we've got completely damaged internals, but we've got no timing and we've cranked it since. So it could be that everything in there is just completely kaput and I have to engine swap it, which is going to cost me another couple of grand. Truthfully, all things have to come to an end. And I love this car. But it's not financially viable to replace it, is it? And I'm never going to get my money back on it. And if it's going to keep causing me problems like this, then it's been caused me a few since we've rebuilt it. So, and I've hardly used it. I use the truck now anyway, so. Thanks, Audi. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for getting me back into mechanics. This is a really bitter pill to swallow. I would just like to thank Essex Police and the AA for coming to us really quickly and aiding us in getting the Audi back home. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. They were fantastic, so polite, so professional. Honestly, we are very lucky to have such good, honest people helping us out. So that's fantastic. As I say, it's not the end of the world. These things happen all the time. What we are going to do, though, is find out what killed my Audi. Taking no prisoners in this episode. This is now very personal. I need to know what killed my favourite car. So we've got some tools here lined up, and if I have to go and get anything else, then I will. But yeah, my money is on the fuel pump at the end here. Apparently, that's their common to go, and that runs off of the cam and everything else. The crank turns, so I'm hoping it's just a little bit of top-end damage and we can get that replaced. If it's a block or anything else, then it's not looking good. But I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get straight into this. Okay, this is a position that we found ourselves in over a year ago with the head, with the rocker cover off, and we can actually have a look inside the head. But after looking at first glance, I can't really see any immediate signs that the cams have seized or cams have failed. I'm going to undo the rest of it now and have a look, but to me, it's not looking like we've got any damage. I can't see anything immediately bad. So, with the cam cover off, we can now have a look and see what else is going on in here. These cams don't look bad at all. And the fuel pump, from what we can see, is still in one piece. So the next question is, let's have a look at these valves and see if we've dropped a valve or what else is going on in here. Okay, after much struggling with these back turbo bolts here on the manifold, we've actually finally managed to get this off. So now I can take the camshafts out and I can have a proper good look at the valves and see if we've dropped a valve. I've pulled the spark plugs out. None of the spark plugs are showing me that there's any signs of a valve dropping or slapping against the bottom of the spark plug. If we have got a problem here, it's likely piston rings or a tensioner pulley of some sorts has gone. At the moment, I'm still unsure as to where the damage lies because everything thus far is fine. This is the state of the belt. So we've obviously, something catastrophic has gone wrong somewhere. We're just still trying to find it. One camshaft. I've turned the engine over through the bottom of the crank pulley when I had the wheel off earlier, and it's fine. It turns over fine. So it must just be either tensioner failure or the auxiliary belt's failed. And I'm not going to go stripping this car all the way down because it's going to go for scrap on Friday, so there's no point in me just ripping it to bits. And so the mystery leads us to this. I won't lie, after a little bit of persuasive investigation, we have found what killed my Audi. Now it's hard to see because the camera won't focus, but inside there is the water pump, right there. And that's failed. It's actually seized. Doesn't move. That's me trying to move it. It won't go. So that's it. End of an era. This car means a lot to me, as most of you can probably tell. It's been there for me a lot throughout my life. I pretty much had this from a teenager to what I would consider a man. I've had many fun nights in it. I've taken many women for wild rides in the passenger seat and a couple of men. Don't worry, we don't discriminate. Now, a lot of you in the comments are going to be saying, Jay, why not just fix the water pump? If you know the engine turns and you know there's nothing wrong with the top end, why not just do it? And the honest answer is, I am saving my money for my cash flow for my business, and I can't go spending another couple of grand on an Audi. To do that, I've got to have the head off. I've got to get Darren back down to help me rebuild it. I've got to buy all the new parts again. So, yeah, it's not worth. It's really just not worth me doing. And honestly, we don't want dead motors just hanging around. It's bad enough we've got Slugsy, so I can't have another car or another motor hanging around dead. So the best thing for this is to go. Hi everyone, my name is Jay and welcome to the Geared Up Garage YouTube channel. Basically the purpose of this channel and what we're going to be doing, this is a little introductory video
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
You slag, mate.
Like my father's come to pass. 7 years has gone so fast. Wake me up when September ends.